We do have joining us this morning Mr. Reuben Buhari, whose relatives remain among those affected by the abduction. Mr. Buhari, we want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
All right. I mean, we're talking about the tragic incident involving the young child who reportedly died, in captivity. Can you take us back? Let's go back to the day when it all began. Can you take us back to the day your relatives were kidnapped? What exactly happened?
Okay, yeah. So that incident has to do with the kidnapping that took place in a village called Awon. Awon is in Kachia local government in Southern Kaduna. And it happened on April 20th. 11 people were abducted from that community. And I think today they've spent about 79 days today in captivity. And among them are 4 children. So they've been asking for 300 million and 25 motorcycles. And the community has been trying, pleading, put together some couple of millions and offer it to them, but they said no, it has to be 300 million and 25 motorcycles. So, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Oh, okay. So we now got to a stage, I think two weeks back, they decided that since the 300 million is not forthcoming, they are going to stop feeding these people. And for the feeding itself, they used to send a message to the community that people are hungry and then, we'll pack food and then send it to them. So they now said no food, nothing, only water. And the thing is that once a day, they will be led to a stream. They will lead them to a stream close by where they will drink water and then come back. And after 4 days, one of the child died, very small child because of hunger. The child kept crying until he became silent. The mother was holding him all through. The child just became silent and they just realized that he's dead. And right now we still have about 3 children still in that camp. And that is not even an isolated case. Maybe Nigerians remember the incident that happened in a village called Ariko village. Ariko is in the same Kachia local government. It happened on April 5th, Easter Sunday. They were worshiping and then these kidnappers came in and took them from their 3 churches. And today, I think they've spent about 96 days today in captivity. Now, in that same camp, there are a lot of children. They went to the church, packed even the children who were in the children's section, packed them all. These ones also have been asking for 1 billion naira and 35 motorcycles. And the community said, we don't have money. Where will we get 1 billion naira? Offer them some little money. They said no. So as it is now, they have said that they are not going to feed them. We said, we're going to bring food to the camp. And they said, no, they are not going to feed them. So as it is now, coincidentally, we got a message from someone. There was a woman who was in the camp whose ransom was paid, but not from Ariko village. So when she came out, she said 2 women have died, 2 children have died. Now, we're trying to put the woman down and then so that she can give us the name of those people. We have the names of all the people that are there, but we want her to give us the names of those ones that they said. So this is the situation that is happening in part of Southern Kaduna. This rampant kidnapping is going on. And the issue is that these people will keep attacking your community, but they will give you an option. Sit down, have an agreement with them. If you decide to go into an agreement with them, then they will not attack your community, but you basically become a slave to them. And part of the agreement means that, one, they come into that community, and take over any house. They come into that community, bring in victims, keep them in that community. You cannot own a phone in that community. You cannot have a new motorcycles in that community. If a visitor comes into that community, they need to be told. A certain percentage of whatever it is that you farm, you take it to them. and then every person in that community household pays a certain levy. They keep a record, you pay a certain level and so many other things. And then members of the community will be the ones to go to the market outside, buy stuff for them. And then sometimes if there are ransom to be collected, they will ask people there that come to the community, or they'll ask members of the community to go and collect the ransom for them. So you virtually become a slave. Now, this is the option. You either do this or they keep attacking you. And then if you cannot endure, then you just have to leave the community and then become an IDP. So this is the situation that is happening all over this place.
Well, it's quite a gloomy one, Mr. Reuben, but I'm curious. What are the security agencies? What are the government authorities? Are they aware of what you're saying, first of all, and what is being done about it?
Nothing. They are not doing anything, and they are aware of what is happening. Let me tell you, there's this funny thing that is happening here. This issue of insecurity is being suppressed. Now, when the issue of the abduction in Kachia happened, April 20th, I spoke about it. And the local government chairman, had the guts to call me, and he was trying to intimidate me. Look, the councillor representing our one ward in the Kachia local government, the councillor was suspended because he granted an interview to pressmen saying, yes, kidnapping took place, our people are in the bush. He was suspended. And then he was later removed as the speaker of the Kachia local government legislature. So there's this, deliberate, aim to suppress and keep it. It's the same thing. I'm sure Nigerians will remember the abduction that happened in Kurminwali, where everyone, the local government chairman came out and said nothing happened. Commissioner of police came out and said nothing happened, until we kept speaking before they now agreed that yes, 176 people were abducted. So there's this culture of trying to suppress and keep this thing down. So they know. Now, why am I saying they know? Because when there are people that actually come out from the camp, sometimes they will escape, sometimes they'll pay ransom and they'll come. These people have told us, they said, we know exactly where these camps are. We can take them. I personally, and I want the security agencies to tell me that I'm lying. I went in, I told them, I said, look, people know where these camps are. They know where these camps are. They can take you there to the camp. Nothing has happened up to today. People are just there. Imagine Nigeria. Imagine somebody spending 95 days right now in the camp. Women and children who are taken from church. Little children. Their mothers who are suckling. It was in that same camp that one of the women gave birth. The kidnappers refused to give them anything to cut the umbilical cord. And the umbilical cord, the child came out, the umbilical cord was outside, Out of desperation, one of the women has to use her teeth. And this is not, fairy tale or anything. She had to use her teeth to cut the umbilical cord because it has stayed outside for hours. And the life of the child is being threatened, So this is what people have been reduced to. And the security knows where these camps are. These camps are around Regina. People, community youths are ready to take them to the camp. But nothing is happening.
I'm also curious. The people who are perpetrating these crimes, are they Nigerians? From your intelligence?
They are Fulanis. Because anytime we speak with them, we do the recording. You understand? Pure Fulanis. They are Fulanis who are doing this thing from their accent and everything. So they are Fulanis. Now, as to whether they are Nigerians or not, I think they are Nigerians because if you have a foreign Fulani, his accent, the way he speaks will be a bit different. But these ones are pure Fulanis. Sometimes they are there in the camp, some of them with even their families. Now, if you remember the kidnapping, the abduction of the Agwam Adara, when they took him, when his wife came out from the camp, she said there were 10 people that were guiding them in the camp. And then 5 of them were foreign. They were speaking French. They were tall with turbans on their head. Those ones could not speak English nor Hausa. They were speaking French. You understand? But the other ones are Fulanis, Nigerians Fulanis. So, but for this camp, the ones that came to Ariko, the ones that came to Awon, and even recently, there's even another abduction in a village called Ongwang Atiku. It was on June 28th. 11 people were taken from that place. And in the conversation again, you hear pure pure Fulanis, Nigerian Fulanis. And I'm sure Nigerians are also aware of the attack that took place in a village called
Mr.
Apondo,
Reuben, Mr.
school
Reuben,
children.
just a moment,
Yes.
because we're out of time. What do you think
Uh,
government can do differently to secure the release of those who are still being held captive in 60 seconds, if you may?
they just go into the camps because these camps are known. Bring up the will, the determination to go after these people. You know where their camps are. Go after them, no mercy, clear all these camps, and Nigerians are going to, have a respite from all these things. And another thing quickly is that for all these people that come from the camp, can the security men sit with them, and gather intelligence? People spend 3 weeks from camp, they come, and then you don't sit with them. You don't hear anything about from them. How will you get all the intelligence that you need to go after these people? So if they do this, I think we're going to see improvement.
All right. Thanks so much, Mr. Reuben Buhari, for sharing your experience and your insights with us in such a difficult and emotional issue. We wish your family strength during this challenging period, and we also pray for the safe return of those who are still in captivity. Thank you for your time with us on the program this morning.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, gentlemen.
We keep praying and praying and praying, and yes, God is not going to come from heaven to do the job for us. He's going to use security men who should be ready to do the job. And one question I've always asked, is security a priority for this administration? I mean, you've heard it firsthand from someone who's experienced this. But then, where do we go from here? Sometimes feels like there's no hope. But guess what? There is hope. Better days are very much here, not even ahead. And we do hope that Nigeria will be out of this insecurity situation in no time. Amen.